Continuing off the last video's notes where we talked about the properties of logarithms, now you're going to be asked to condense and expand logarithms. So our objective is to condense logarithms and also to expand them when asked to. So condensing means we're going to make something smaller. We're going to make it start big, end with something small. So to do that, you are going to use the product, quotient, and power rules to write as a single logarithm. So these two examples, we're going to take them and we're going to write them as a single logarithm. So now working backwards from the properties, if there's a 2 out front, that tells me, hey, I have a power that I can replace here. I'm subtracting here. That tells me I need to use the quotient rule. And again, I have a 3 out here, so that tells me I need to use the power rule again. I always end up writing the powers first, so let's bring that power back up. So I'm going to have log of x squared minus, the 3 is going to go up, so I have log of x minus 1 cubed. That whole quantity gets cubed. Finally, subtracting is the last thing I need to do, so I need to rewrite it as a quotient. So I have log of x squared divided by x minus 1 cubed. Now, if I were able to go ahead and factor this out, I would cancel out factors and reduce even more. But in this case, that is as far as I can go here. Example 2, again, I see, hey, I have a power here, so I'm going to make sure I write it up there. I have adding here, so that tells me I have the product rule. 3 tells me to bring it up. And I have minus, so I know I need the quotient rule again. Again, I always rewrite my powers first, and then I start going together. So I have log of x to the 1/2. Now, whenever I have x to the 1/2, I tend to write it as the square root of x because it's cleaner and easier to write. If you write 1/2, that's not incorrect, it's fine. Plus log of y to the 3rd minus nothing going on with log of z. So now I'm going to go ahead and combine this. I have a product going on. So log of the square root of x times y cubed minus log of z. And finally, my last thing to do is connect the quotient rule. So I have log of the square root of x, y cubed, all over z. And again, if I could reduce something, I would, but in this case, I have nothing I can go ahead and cancel out. So now I've condensed, but now I need to go ahead and expand things. So very similar, you're going to take one single logarithm and you're going to write it as a multiple. So again, you're going to use the product, quotient, and power rules to write the logarithm as multiple logarithms. So now I'm looking at one single log and I need to see what rules are going on. Well, A and B, I can see, hey, there's a product going on. So I know I'm going to have to use addition somewhere. Again, I have a fraction, so I'm using the quotient rule. I don't see any powers, so I don't have any of that. So first, let's take the product, so log of A. We know we need to add it to log of B. To get quotient, I need to subtract the logarithm of C. putting it all together, there we go, we've expanded, nothing else can go. Example 2 has a little bit more going on. So we look at it here, we say we have a product going on. We have a power here. We have a quotient. And hopefully you realize again, the square root is another power, that 1/2 power. So again, I always start with the top and I break it down. So break down the product first. So we have log of A. And then we need to add it to log of A minus 2 squared. And we have a quotient, so I'm going to subtract log of the square root of c. Or again, this could be c to the 1/2. So I can put c to the 1/2 here instead. And now all that's left to do is take the powers down. So I know that that 2 needs to come in front, and the 1/2 needs to come out front. So log of a plus 2 log of a minus 2 minus 1/2 log of c. And now I've completely expanded that. There's no rules left to use. I'm done expanding. So now you know how to expand and contract using those properties. At the end of this video, you should complete the remaining problems on the properties worksheet. And bring that to class to discuss.